So in this video lecture series, we have been discussing the topic called the reading comprehension. So in the past two videos, we have discussed on different aspects about the basic understanding of reading a passage, why it is helpful, what is a passage reading, and what are the clues that we can see or we get, and the purpose of reading, the benefits of reading, and how the clues are very much different from each person's perspectives and according to its context, and how is the things are happening around or within the text or around the reader, and all these things have been discussed in the past two videos, isn't it? So in this video lecture series, we are going to start off with, continue with the slide called why the context matters, which was generally we discussed in the last video. So the contextual matters is about, in the reading comprehension, is about enhancing the comprehension, to boost our vocabulary, to develop our critical thinking, and to avoid the misinterpretation of the things. So generally we commit mistakes, or even when we don't know about the real meaning of it, we assume the meaning so that we misunderstand it, and we start commit mistaking towards it. We understand the entire thing into wrong. So that is why the context matter is very important in the reading comprehension. And critical thinking, analyzing author's tone. So, but here, what even when we speak on the over the face, we do not want to understand each other, or we don't easily understand others. But think about when you read any passages, how do you understand the author's tone without knowing what he has told to you directly? Just by reading the words, can you listen to the words of the author? So definitely not. So when you have to think about yourself, you have to put the shoes of the author so that you can develop your critical thinking skills. So that is why it is very important, why the context is matters in the reading comprehension. Okay, and next, the strategies for using this context. So what are the strategies that we can use for or we can employ for using this context? So let us see one by one. So read around. So first, read around. What is the read around? So examining the sentences before and after the unfamiliar words for clues. So when you read the very well-known words, so there is nothing wrong. You can easily identify the meaning. But when you come across with the unfamiliar words, how do you understand it? So in order that to understand or to guess the meaning of the context, we have to read what sentences have been given before the unfamiliar word and what is continued with this unfamiliar words, in order to understand, in order to create a logical sequences between the texts. That is what the reading around is very much important in the first step as a strategies for using this context. Second, identifying the word type. If it is a parts of speech, you have to identify whether the word is used as a noun or as a verb or as an adjective. For an example, child. Okay, so child is a type of a word that talks about a noun, but don't be childish. So here we cannot say a childish is a word that talks about the noun of a word, but it is a adjective. It talks about the activities, the behavior. Okay, and also another word, he plays childishly, isn't it? So plays, P-L-A-Y-S. It has a noun form as a drama and also have activity of playing as a verb. So likewise, we have to identify what is the type of the word that is used in the passage. Okay, next, look for the punctuation. So we all know what is called punctuation. We have got different types of punctuations which gives us or which creates a lot of impact over the passages, especially when it is in the written communication, especially like commas, full stop, parentheses, dashes, and specifically the comma, apostrophe, and full stops. Oh my God, how drastically it changes the meaning. Do you know it? Yes, that is what you have to understand the punctuations also. Then break down the words. How do we break down the words? Analyze the prefix, suffix, and the root word. For an example, examining. Okay, so here it is given as a undoable. So it is an undoable. So un is a prefix, able is a suffix, do is a root word. So when you prefix do with un, it becomes undo. When you prefix able with the do, so suffix able with the do, it becomes doable. When you affix do with a and un and able, it becomes undoable. So likewise, examining, exam, ein, examine. Okay, so in each aspects of breakdowning the things that we get, different types of meanings. Am, it's a kind of a verb. Exam, it is a noun when it is used as a prefix. And examine, ine, when it is it becomes as a verb when it is suffixed with ing. This is how we have to understand the context usages in the reading comprehension. And you have to ask questions: who, what, where, when, why, and how. This is called the situational analysis. Okay, so in what basis these things are used to here, that has to be understood very clearly. That is what. So the strategies that we have to use for using the context is you have to read around the words that comes before and after the familiars. Second, identify the word type. Third, looking for the punctuation. Fourth, breaking down the words. Fifth, you have to ask for questions. Next, and in different genres, yes, I have already told you in the very beginning of the series itself that we have got different types of texts, different types of passages, different types of news. Likewise, academic tests in which we use in colleges or schools or in any academicians. Then literary works like the novels, drama, plays, poems, all these things. There's news articles like magazines, wasn't it? Scientific things, all these things. Then technical manuals, instruction manual, whatever it is. Okay. Then poetry, the figurative languages, and the different forms of structural clues that are provided in the technical passages. Okay. And at last, the contextual challenges. So this is what given to you. So the first as a scientific, the ubiquitous. Okay, ubiquitous that you have to identify. Second, as from the literature, the lugubrious, the lugubrious. Third is about news, the new policy, new. Okay, the new policy faces strident opposition. So what do you mean with strident? So these are all the different types of contacts that you have been provided with the challenge. Try to find it out and identify the answers within the text as in the different contextual analysis. And finally, the power of reading, contextual reading, is going to get it concluded. First one, it gives us comprehension, active engagement, lifelong learning, and effective communication. That is what the power of contextual reading gives us and makes us very pleasure in enjoying the reading passages. If you really have the pleasure of reading, you will enjoy it. If you are forced to read, you will get marks. If you intentionally do it, you become exemplary. Okay, so make use of your reading skills and you become a good communicator. Thank you. Here we come to the end of the session. Thank you.